Go ahead, Jeremiah.
Yeah, Hubert, obviously second half you guys tightened up a lot of things, particularly ball control and made some more shots, things like that. What do you think in that first half just wasn't connecting for you guys, and how do you think you guys were able to?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we were nervous. Been at home and played on our home floor, but just the lack of energy, effort, attention to detail wasn't there in the first half, and that was the exact opposite in the second half, and I think that's why we played so well in the second half. Just the energy picked up, effort, specifically on the defensive end, finishing, and I thought we were more disciplined defensively in the second half. We finished possessions with a rebound, and that allowed us to get out in transition. It says that we had 12 fast break points, but I felt like we had more. I just felt like we were always on a run in the second half, but it always led from us defensively in the second half.
The second half, you guys shot well from the perimeter. The guys were talking about how a lot of it came from swing passes and they were kind of catching ready shots. Is that what you envision this group being, a group that can swing a lot? Because there's a lot of different dudes that can knock them down.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we have a number of guys that consistently can hit open threes, but I've been clear and definitive. I'm a dominate points in the paint type of guy. And that's where you generate those open threes. I want to dominate points in the paint through post penetration, offensive rebounding, and live in the paint, live in the free throw line, and put max pressure on the rim. So we've got to do a better job of being stubborn and persistent in terms of attacking the basket and getting into the paint and finishing around the basket. I think in the first half we missed 8 layups around the basket, and that's just moving forward. That's just not going to work.
Hubert, Jaren, he hit those couple of threes in the second half, but in the first half he was playing defense on a guy who was 10 inches shorter than him out on the perimeter and doing a pretty good job of it. Does he give you a dimension that maybe you haven't had in the past on the teams that you've coached?
Well, I mean, he's his ability with his size, he really can guard 1 through 5. So it gives us the versatility on the defensive end to be able to do different things because of his ability to be able to do that. Unfortunately, where I found out that he could do that was against us last year on our team. And so, he does a really nice job of getting around screens, and he can move his feet. He's disciplined defensively, and he can also rebound the basketball. I was really happy with him being able to hit some shots in the second half. We've got to get him more. I've got to get him more shots. And just because he's just so talented on the offensive end as well, and so just being intentional to make sure that he's getting enough looks on the offensive end.
Hubert, how do you get him more shots?
All plays for him.
You talk about the chemistry that Henry and Caleb have, the high-low, and Caleb talked about how it's an adjustment for him because in high school he wasn't used to having another guy that tall to lob to.
Yeah. I mean, they to be early in the season, they really have a chemistry where it feels like they have played together a couple of years. They just feed off of each other. When I separate them in practice, they look like they're about to cry because they want to be on the same team again, but they do. They have a nice chemistry. And one of the things that I think is really beneficial to Caleb is to have that chemistry with an experienced player who talks to him on the court, shows him how to prepare, shows them how hard you have to practice just to put yourself in a position to be successful. So to have that type of, it's so beneficial to have older players show the way to younger players. Doesn't matter how talented you are, an older player is somebody that needs to be there to teach them, and Henry's done a nice job of that.
Is a tie a fixture this season?
No, I just went upstairs. I don't know. I went upstairs and found this shirt, and I saw my list of ties, and I was like, man, I haven't worn a tie in 5 years. I said, let me see if I can tie it, and then if I can tie it, then let's wear it. So I might wear it on Monday night. I haven't done it in 5 years. It feels good.
No clip on.
It's no clip on. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
All right, we're done. Thank you.
If it was, well, who cares, right? At least I tried, right?
The effort that counts.
No, it's no clip on. See.
Hubert felt like you were one-handed passes tonight. Is that fair? With some of the turnovers you had at BYU, were you happier with what you saw as far as the ball security, so to speak?
Yeah, I just, we had some in the last couple of practices, and I just was straight up and honest with them. I just don't understand that. I said, you're not getting more playing time if you throw a one-handed pass. That doesn't impress me at all. I want simple and sound plays, make the easy play, and I felt like our guys were doing that. And they're understanding that those little things are really the difference makers in regards to being successful, is being consistent in the fundamentals on both ends of the floor.
Hubert, speaking of simple and sound plays, what do you think of Caleb's dunk? What went through your head after he did that?
I wanted him to get back on defense. It was a beautiful finish. Again, not many people can do that. He's very gifted, and his ability to finish above the rim with traffic is something that he's already done and expect him to do the remainder of the season.
How important is it to have those sort of highlight plays? Does that give you a sense, or the team a sense, do you think, of just added motivation? Not motivation, but like just added, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for, but just energy, yeah, like an added energy on the court just to be able to have guys that can do that?
Yeah, it got the crowd going, but it didn't resonate with us in the first half, and yes, you can draw energy from plays like that. I just energy and effort plays are like you just need one person to do it.
Yeah.
Couple more.
And then one other person does it, and then now you have the whole team to do it. But I'm trying to get them to understand that what brings us the energy and effort and what fuels us is defensively and rebounding the basketball.
How satisfied do you feel like how satisfied or ready do you feel like this team is to start the regular season on Monday?
It doesn't matter. It starts on Monday. I mean, we'll have tomorrow off. We've got 3 days of preparation, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I like the exhibition games that we played, and it really has identified things that we're doing well and things that we need to improve on. And we'll be prepared and ready for a good Central Arkansas team on Monday night.
Andrew and Adam.
Hubert, going back to Jaron, at Alabama, it's threes and layups. We saw something in the lane the other night against BYU. How much more of his game is kind of in between the three and the layup?
That's not me as a coach, and no disrespect to anyone who believes in that philosophy. I think that's great. For me, I like 4-level scorers, guys that can shoot from three, mid-range shot at the right time by the right people. I like layups and dunks, and I like getting fouled and getting to the free throw line. And so when you think of Jaron, he's a guy that can do that. And I want to take advantage of everything that he can bring to the table on both ends of the floor. And so that includes being a 4-level scorer on the offensive end.
Last two, Adam, then Shelby.
Hubert, going back to the three-point shooting, like I hear you on what you're talking about, like helps generate that, and what AJ was saying with the passing.
But you don't believe me.
I do believe you. I just wanted to follow up on it. Did you feel like
We're getting comfortable with each other? I can ask you a question.
Just don't wear a clip-on.
Oh, look at! I love it, guys. I love it.
I only said 2 more questions. Sorry.
See, you're getting curse robbed.
I know.
Did you feel like the threes in the second half were just more in rhythm?
They were.
And I felt like maybe against BYU, it just seemed like you never got a good rhythm.
I would agree with you on that, especially in the second half. They were generated off of a drive. They were generated off of throwing the ball in the post. They were generated off an offensive rebound in transition, and then also the swing, just like, oh, okay, that's a good shot. Boom, let's get a great shot. And so when the ball moves and you got ball movement, player movement, I think you usually shoot a high percentage. So I agree with you in the second half. I felt like the threes were better and they were coming in a better way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last one, Shelby.
Yeah, first of all, we need to make sure the photos, videos, we're getting your tie right in that, okay? So no photos from the loosened tie portion.
Oh, okay.
That's all. No, that's all, I'm just saying, we can't,
Let's go, Shelby. We
I
gotta go.
got you, all right, so,
Okay.
I'm curious, just, at halftime, I know that some of the players were telling us that they felt like, Elijah and Steph were like particularly vocal in terms of just, hey, we need to play with, more energy, more effort. What do you see in terms of just like an in-team leadership, maybe at halftime or in huddles, guys just kind of getting on each other to get more into it?
Yeah, I think the two most vocal guys are Seth and Elijah. They're that way in practice. They were that way in shoot around this morning, and also in the games and in the huddles. And just like you talked about the energy and effort plays, having vocal leaders that are encouraging guys to pick it up and play at a high level. You just need one or two, and then it just everyone follows. And so I really appreciate the leadership from Seth and Elijah. I thought they did a really good job with that.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Coach